What's going on, movie fans? Welcome to MovieRounders.com. Matt, Tony, Bethany, and Daniel. And we're here to review Little Women. And yes, I am the Joe of Little Women. No?
Hold on, I gotta say for the viewers, you always do a different order when you announce us. So
Why wouldn't I do a different
it
order?
confuses me. Okay, sorry.
So, we're here to review Little Women, in case you forgot. And we're going to start with Tony this time. Tony, give us your thoughts.
I gotta tell you, I was not looking forward to seeing this movie. I'm coming in cold. Never read the book. Never saw any of the older shows. None of that. And I was just going, oh, it's going to be like a Little House on the Prairie, which was cute when I was a kid growing up. But I just wasn't in the mood or the mindset to want to watch this. I just watched a couple stinkers that if you watch our other reviews, you'll see. And I wasn't really excited about it. And I was blown away by this movie. I was floored. I bought into the characters. I got invested in the characters. It was such a refreshing change to some of the other movies we've seen this weekend. And I wanted to know the story more. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to watch it. The way they told the story was not very linear. They bounced around a little bit, so it kept it kind of interesting. And it was neat to see from this time period the different tracks that the women were taking and how they kind of in the end and how it all comes back together at the end. So I was floored and I loved it. I like you said with Cats, I want to turn around and take my family back to watch this. It was that good.
Daniel?
Well, I really enjoyed this movie. I loved it. I think this is the fourth time this movie has been made. It was based on the book by Louisa May Alcott, as y'all know. Greta Gerwig, I just want to get the name right. She actually wrote this movie based on the writings of Louisa May Alcott. So I've done a lot of research on it. And,
so it's authentic to the book?
Yeah, well, no. It's a modernized version of it, but it's so much better than the older versions. I've actually done a lot of research on it, but historically, like we've had Katharine Hepburn, we had, what's her name? Who was in, Elizabeth Taylor was in this movie. Winona Ryder was in this movie at one point in the previous versions of the movie. But brilliant movie, excellent movie. Great for the family. There's nothing wrong with this movie. It's absolutely a brilliant movie, and I would say go see it. It's really good.
I like to say I was pleasantly surprised, but I saw it late, and everybody was like, go see Little Women. It's the perfect thing. So I built up a lot of hype to go see it, and it was really good. I enjoyed it. It's like Daniel said, it's a retelling of this story. I love Greta Gerwig. Lady Bird was probably one of my favorite movies of 2017, and she uses Saoirse Ronan in that. I love the way they tell the story. They change up the ending a little bit to keep it on your toes, the non-linear storytelling. I think there's great chemistry between all the girls. If there was a weaker performance, I would say Emma Watson, but she's still really good. Hers probably the weakest performance. And Florence Pugh is a star in the making. She's just so amazing. The part.
Like, how many great movies has she had this year?
Fighting with My Family is a wonderful movie.
And I love that movie because I watch wrestling, and that's one of my favorite wrestlers.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
And wholly different movie styles, too.
See, I went to WrestleMania 30 that year, and then she debuted the next night, the actual page, but Florence Pugh knocks out. I didn't watch Midsummer. I heard that one was
She's good.
rocky,
Don't waste your time.
But Florence Pugh is a star in the making, and I love a lot of the stuff that she's doing, and this is a really good movie. I enjoyed it. Betsy?
This was my white whale as a book. I am Moby Dick, Ishmael, whatever his name is. I could never finish this book. Never, ever, ever, ever. I started reading. It is like the one book that I've never finished reading. I usually will trudge through every single book, no matter how much I hate it, just to finish it. I read a John Grisham book earlier this year. Hated it because there was like 1,000 pages of nothing in the middle that it did nothing to the plot. This is not a John Grisham podcast or movie review, so we'll leave that alone. But the movie, so I was like it's gonna be a thing, but we gotta watch it. So I'm gonna watch it. Loved it. Like, I texted my best friend afterwards, and I was like, "You have to come see this." And she's like, "Well, I don't know, it's gonna be," because she's a big fan of the book, and she's like, I looked at the trailer and it just looks like super feministy, and I know that's your thing, and I'm like, the feminism is appropriate for the time period. It's not super crazy, and I'm like sending her all these like reviews of people like saying that they loved it. It's so good, and she's like, yeah, but is it like the book? And I'm like, just watch the movie.
Yeah.
Just watch the movie. It is so good. Like favorite part of the movie is just Florence Pugh. Right. She's a scene stealer. Like I found myself really looking forward to all of her scenes because I knew nothing about this. I don't think I ever made it past like chapter 3, and so she's great. Saoirse
Ronan.
Saoirse
Ronan.
Yeah, she's
Saoirse
great.
Ronan. She is also great. Like she's so pig-headed, and then she learns her lessons, and then she's pig-headed. She learns her lessons. She's just like so stubborn. Yeah, she's just so stubborn, and you want her. And but she learns and she grows, and like they all grow. They're so good together. Like they all have great chemistry, and I understand now the Timothée Chalamet like hype.
Oh,
like I watched that and I was like, like I've heard people talking about this guy forever now since he came out like last year or something. Call Me by Your Name, which was a creepy movie.
Yeah. So weird.
Yeah, and so like he's just been like everybody's like, oh, Timothée Chalamet, and then so I've never watched anything he's in. And then I watched this and I was like, all right, well,
yeah.
he's cool.
Where's your chisel boy?
Which one was he? Laurie? Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Laurie.
When I saw him, I was like, that guy's going to be a star.
Yeah, like
He's young, but also had the chiseled look. I mean,
yeah, like and he's in that Netflix movie. My friend was telling about The King, where he's playing King Henry something or other, who was like this drunk fool, and then he has to become the king overnight. He's like literally like in charge of armies because his dad dies or something. But he's great in it. Like they all have such great chemistry. And like the mom, Laura Dern, she's great.
Just can't say enough about
yeah,
Greta
you
Gerwig
really
too. Greta Gerwig is a director. She was snubbed for Lady Bird. She hasn't been nominated for any of this, and she's gonna break through that mold.
This
this
is a powerhouse movie.
It
Nobody
is.
in here, and even Emma Watson, took a role where you would say she's got the most experience out of any of them, but she took a side role, didn't push it, didn't try to scene steal, and I thought she did good. I mean,
it fit the character from my understanding of the character, and I only know the character from the movie. Yeah. But her, like the way she plays her scenes, like she is not the flashy. Yes, she's not the flashy out there sister the way Joe is, or is it? No, Beth is the piano sister. Amy is Florence Pugh. And like that's just not her role. But she's not quite Beth's character where she's very withdrawn and kind of hidden. She's this kind of happy sort of medium between them, between all three of them, and math. And man, she's just great. Like everyone's great. You could hear her accent come through a little bit. You could hear her be a little British and everything, but it doesn't take away. Like it really doesn't distract you at all. She's. Like,
can I say this? Like Meg was one of the people that played Meg was Elizabeth Taylor. So if you think about like crazy, awesome, dynamic, amazing actresses that people adore, I mean Elizabeth Taylor played that same part. You know, so I mean it is a great character.
And I thought, even though it's subdued, I thought she did a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could pick any person that didn't do a good job, maybe it's the dad.
Yeah, because he's just there for like 2 minutes.
Like
I thought he was dead.
But
he's
everyone else
and then
in
he
this
comes
movie
home.
just knocks it out of the park. Even the person that's their I don't know what you'd call them, but she's always there helping him. She was the cook, and I mean, every one of it just felt right. The casting in this was just stunning, and the scene where Laurie and where there's a scene.
Is it Laurie and Amy or Laurie and Joe?
Laurie and Amy. The scene where Laurie and Amy is, I mean,
so good. Like where she's painting.
So good.
Yes.
That scene is. I mean, she just knocks it out of the park.
Yes.
So,
kills it.
Anyway.
Yeah. And let me tell you this too. Laurie was played by Kristen Bell in the Winona Ryder version of it. So think about that too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Like,
I see that.
Just,
okay.
I cannot say enough positive things about this movie.
Loved
honestly.
it. I want to bring my whole family back to watch it.
Wait, which guy am I
guy?
saying? I
The
only
Italian
know
or
Laurie's
the-
name. I don't remember any other names. Well, no, was it
Bear? Yeah, Bear.
Bear? And then who's the professor?
Friedrich.
Friedrich.
Yeah.
Friedrich, Laurie, and Bear.
Can I tell you an interesting fact? I'm sorry.
Do that while I'm thinking.
Okay, let me tell you this. Like in the book, as a joke, Louisa May Alcock actually wrote in there that at the end of the book that she would run off and marry Bear. And as a joke, I mean, she in her mind it was like she would run off and marry an actual bear. She didn't want her to marry a guy.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, there's the history of this book and the story
Well-
and how it's evolved is brilliant.
And with that idea,
Yeah.
there's a scene where they, in theory, kind of like break the fourth wall as the storytelling, and it was so well done for
Yeah.
this period. The way they did it, so I mean, I just loved everything about it.
Did you think of it?
I'd take Lori in a second. I'm just saying.
Input from Tony.
You don't like the hunky Italian bear?
Yeah.
It's either Friedrich or Lori.
Okay.
I'm torn between those two. Friedrich or Lori. Well, there's also, what's the one that Amy almost marries?
Yeah.
Oh, that
Frank?
you really don't
Frank?
see
What's his
much of
name?
him, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He was rich, though.
Yeah.
Well, Lori's rich.
Yeah.
So, you know,
And she had to make the decision.
yeah, she did. Like,
So, yeah.
Laura. I mean, she still got, she's okay no matter what decision she made.
And there's a letter, and you're like, oh my gosh, can she get the letter? You know,
Oh, yeah, like,
you're like, do not put that
Get
much
the
drama.
letter.
Because I'm watching this now, I'm invested. I'm,
Yeah, like-
you know, I'm like, get the letter back.
Oh my gosh, no, like, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like,
It really
it's
was.
just,
What are you rating it, Tony?
5. I loved it. Yep. I'd watch it again easily.
in a heartbeat.
Daniel?
Okay, I'm gonna have to go with a 5 as well. I really liked it.
This is not me being a downer. I'm gonna say 4.5. It's not quite at the 5, but it's at that 4.5 mark. For me, it's great. It's just not my favorite of the year, but it's great.
5. Like, I mean, as much as I've been like going off over here about this movie for like the last 10 minutes now, like,
It's great.
oh, I probably blew up my mic several times.
I mean, we're in the new year, but this movie technically came out last year, or
Yeah, it's still gonna be a 29.
So in my mind, Ford versus Ferrari was one of my high points of last year, but this surpassed it. I mean,
Yeah.
I love action, I love all that stuff, but this was just floored me. I wasn't
Phenomenal.
expecting it, and I loved it. So,
It's good.
It's
All right.
so good.
That's our review of Little Women. Let us know in the comments below what you thought of it, and watch us here at MovieRounders.com, where we review the movie and you control the camera.